Hello everyone, today I will be bringing you my thoughts and review on Apex Legends. So, Apex Legends, unless you've been living under a rock, which has been buried underground in a locked vault, you have heard of Apex Legends. It is the new Battle Royale, it is the flavor of the month, and it has even dethroned Fortnite and League of Legends on the Twitch directory. But, is it good? Because everyone knows when a new game comes out, there's always the blind praise, and there's always the followers, and people who just flock to it because it's the new shiny thing. So, historically, I am on record of hating Battle Royale. I dislike PUBG, I've hated Fortnite, I hate the randomness of the game mode, and how, you drop in and whoever lands on the first gun generally wins that fight, and I've just disliked that. Apex Legends is similar in that regard. There are those elements of the Battle Royale that I dislike, but in this video I want to talk about how I feel about it. Is it good? Is it bad? Do I like it? Would I recommend it? The long and the short of it is, yeah, it's a good game, and I would recommend it, but there are several reasons as to why. The first reason why I enjoy the game so much is, it's a tight game. Like, it feels good to play, I guess would be the best way to describe it. If you've played Titanfall, if you played the Titanfall series, you'll really enjoy the movement because it's based on the same engine and it's made by the same company. You have the sliding, you have the grappling,
Thanks for that.
and there's zip lines, and there's all sorts of clambers and whatnot. There is not wall running, because I feel like that would really break the game if you could abuse vertical and horizontal space to that level. There's already some arguably game-breaking movement, but it allows for freedom of expression and mastery of your play space. And I think that is one of the game's biggest strengths. Another reason why I do very much enjoy the game is the gunplay is very satisfying, and there is a very notable difference between the guns and between the different attachments and the performance that they provide to the guns. For example,
by the way,
you can have a machine gun going up against a Prowler with a select fire receiver, so both fully automatic weapons, but one just has more range and just higher damage per shot, and one's just kind of like a spam hose up close. And then you get into a situation where you have a barrel stabilizer and a stock on the Spitfire, which is the machine gun. And the stocks provide increased handling, which is very notable, and you can even notice the difference between the level 1, 2, and 3 between the stuff. So like, that's another reason why it's really nice, is you can feel a in the moment difference when you're using a different gun and when you're using different attachments on the different guns. Like, you can very much notice the difference in how they react and feel in your hands. Another thing that is very well done about the game is there's a lot of really small details that a lot of battle royales and even a lot of shooters just miss. For example, there's when a player in your team drops you an item or marks you an item on the ground and you go and pick it up, on your screen there's a prompt that says that you can thank them, and it's a very small thing, but it goes a really long way in the total atmosphere of the game. It's less about, this is my loot, gimme gimme. It's more of, this is a team effort and we are involved and we're interacting with each other, not as characters but as players. And I think that is a very nice step. And to talk further on that, one of the things that the game does very, very well is the comm system. You have a lot of usability because you can open up your comms wheel on your cursor location and select where you're trying to bring the attention to and what you're trying to talk about when you're showing this attention. So, if you want to say that there is an enemy in this area, but you don't necessarily know where they are, but you know somebody's been through there, there's a ping for that. You can say there's been an enemy moved to this area, or say, for example, you want to ping on the map where you want you and your squad to go. You can just do that, and your character will reflect that in their voice. You can disagree with people's pings by highlighting a pre-existing ping that somebody else has placed, and you can either say yes or you can say no. And there again, there's that interactivity with your squad, and it's not just you're a character, but you're playing with other players. And additionally with that, you have so many other options that you just can't really communicate in other games. Like you can say that you're watching a specific choke point or watching a specific angle. You can say that you want to hold a position, and you communicate that to your team. So the in-game social elements of that are pretty well done in terms of not actually typing or talking, but like just the actual in-game mechanics. Inversely to that, there are also, you have team chat, which you can pull up and talk to your team. You also have voice chat, which the voice encoder isn't the best, but it is there. It is an option. Some people don't use microphones. Some people don't even have voice enabled, which is a shame. That is one of the downsides. Is I think that the voice chat is actually disabled by default. Or actually, no, that's incorrect. Voice chat is enabled, but people will turn it down because it's just set to the industry standard 100%. But the voice chat and text chat are an integral part of the game that isn't too hard to like get a hold of and communicate with your team. So that's a very nice feature. So those are a lot of the good things about the game. I don't want to waffle on forever and just talk about what I love and like all the different things. So I want to get into some of the cons of the game. Recently there was actually an update to the game. I think it was like halfway through the first week that it was out. There was an update to the game, and after that update, and this is at the time of the recording of this video, this may have changed further on the road, but after this update, there was a very noticeable difference in the feeling of tightness with the PvP and like shot registration and being able to respect cover and whatnot. And you start getting shot behind walls, you start taking damage, after you should have not been able to take damage. Your shot's not registering on the enemy and stuff like that. So that is one of the negatives that I've noticed recently, and that was not a thing at the start. But to their credit, at least they are offering updates very quickly into the lifespan of the game. So that's a good sign for sure. Another negative for myself is you can get very bad teammates, and there's no real... It's just the luck of the draw. Like, it doesn't really feel like you're in control of it. You can have that person who follows you around into every building, yoinking every single thing they see at the start of the match. They have 2 guns, body armor, helmet, and a backpack, and like everything. And you're sitting there like, okay, well, we're about to fight a team, and I have nothing, and you don't want to share. So
there was a person in here.
That's cool. So you can get a situation like that. And that's just, like I said, it's just kind of luck of the draw, and it feels really frustrating to deal with that. Another negative thing that I have noticed is there is no report option. For me, in a game, I think that reporting is a very important piece of it, because whether or not it does something, it at the very least, it supplies the player with an outlet. Video games are frustrating. No one likes to lose, no one likes to feel like they're not in control. And at the very least, if you can have an outlet to say, hey, I feel like this person was the reason why I wasn't able to have a good experience, I want to at the very least be able to say that. And not having that in the game, I feel like is a mistake. They have said that they plan to implement that, but that's yet to be seen, at least at the time of recording of this video. Additionally to the report system, it uses the Easy Anti-Cheat protection software, which is what Rust uses. It's what Ark uses, Ark Survival Evolved. It's common software. It's good. It is a good software. It is not perfect, though, and I myself have definitely experienced 1, if not 2, encounters of hackers or cheaters. I remember there was a time where I was playing with my buddy, and we were probably 100 degrees difference from each other from where we actually were getting shot from the person who I was suspecting being the cheater. And they quadruple headshot us both at the maximum fire rate of the wingman, the pistol. And, like, they immediately snapped to the other targets. Now, they could be very, very good. They could just be the best player ever. But, I know I've been around for a while. I don't think that that's what happened. And I wasn't able to report that, because that is a very suspicious thing to happen. And the other thing is that when I was engaging them, I was not able to hit their character model. I wasn't able to hit their hitbox, and I could have just been back. But I feel like, going through 2 full magazines trying to shoot them while they were shooting my friend, I feel like at least one of the shots would have hit, So there is that. The other thing is, oh, what was the other thing? It was tied to reporting. I can't remember what it was. Oh, right. Another thing that I think is a negative and I would like to see improved with the game is there is no death card. So there are weapons that can one-shot you from full HP. Like there's the Kraber sniper rifle pickup from the supply drops, and if you get headshot with that, regardless of what shield you have, regardless of what HP you have, you will go down. You will 100 to 0. And for a new player, how do you know? You know, like you just dropped into a game, you're doing really well, and all of a sudden you get to like the last, 3, 4, 5 squads left, and all of a sudden you just get one shot, and you're like, what the hell just killed me? What the hell just down? Like I have no idea, and there's no feedback on that. And a lighter example of that is if you drop in and you get a gun, you see somebody in front of you get a gun, and neither of you have a body shield, and you're just fighting, like you don't, in that moment, you don't know what they have, you don't know how much HP they have or whatnot, and then you lose the gunfight, and then it just says they killed you, and it doesn't say what killed you, how much health did they have left when you lost the gunfight. How could you have played that better to improve your skills as the player, going into the next fight? I feel like a death card would be a very important thing that they should add, and I really hope they add that in. I'm not asking for like a kill cam, like a Call of Duty sort of thing. I don't think that's necessary, but something for the player to receive feedback on how they could improve for their next engagement would be a really nice addition for the game. But I think that is about all I had to say on the negatives of the game. And then just going back to the overall feelings of the game, it's really good. Like Apex Legends is probably, in my experience, in my personal opinion, feel free to disagree with me in the comments. In my experience, Apex Legends is the best battle royale to come out to date. I have about 90 hours in the game. I'm well past the honeymoon blind praise period. I'm now looking at the game critically. It has its negatives. It has so many more positives, though. PUBG just felt unfinished. It felt unpolished, and it just felt clunky. And also, they had the third-person issue as well. Fortnite, say what you want about Fortnite, but looking at it objectively, I think that the building mechanic really detracts from the gunplay aspects of a battle royale. It's not a who has the better shot, it's who has more wood, and I think that that's really lame. With Apex, you have to actually play your cover. The gunplay feels satisfying, and for the most part, it feels tight. The social and communication aspects of the game are very, very nice. They could use a little bit of improving, but they're very nice. And the gameplay flow as well just feels really nice to experience as well. So overall, I think that Apex Legends is probably the best battle royale to come out to date. And like I said, if you disagree with this, feel free to let me know in the comments. I'd love to hear your thoughts on it. But for the rest of this video, I think I'm just going to let this the rest of this game play out, and feel free to watch it. If you did enjoy the video, feel free to drop a like on it. If you want to share it with your friends, feel free to do that. If you want to see more content like this, feel free to subscribe to the channel, and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.
Drop your bot.
Deploying health drone.
I was just waiting to use a bit close here. I literally don't see anything. I have a 410 scope.
Let's explore this way.
So we go there. Care package coming in there as well. Watching to our left. Let's go hug the cover here.
Be careful.
There's shots. Shots are
so
where we're headed.
Enemy spotted.
Close the bunker door.
Yeah, well.
This way. Never mind.
I almost have Vaulty.
Hostile spotted.
What's your loadout just so I know how to play around it?
Sniper SMG.
Okay, good. Do you have the precision choke on that thing?
Good effect on target. Spot on. Reloading.
One of them has a yellow shield. I broke it.
Opening fire. They spotted me. I'm taking shots. Fire. Recharge. Arcstar out.
Ring movement in progress. We're already inside. Package being delivered.
You hear that? There's a care package coming down.
Danger move.
To the left there.
Contact with target.
There's a bloodhound.
Where?
They spotted me. I'm taking
on the
shots. Reloading. Enemy down.
Reloaded.
Need to recharge my shields.
Enemy killed.
Round 4. Beginning
On me?
Whole squad down.
Full squad down.
They spotted me. I'm taking shots.
Being aimed at.
Back up.
Phasing. Taking damage. Recharging my shields.
102.
They all did in their compartment.
Give him a sec. Charge the shield.
Recharge my shield.
1 minute. Ring's pretty close. Taking shots. Frag out. Opening fire.
33 on them.
Grenade.
Void jumping. Patching myself up.
45 seconds. Ring ain't far. Just giving my shields a recharge. Fire. Double timing it. Just a scare.
Behind me, behind me.
Half a minute. Listen up, I'm getting shot at.
Need to recharge my shields.
Contact.
Placing a portal.
Evacing.
10 seconds. The ring's close.
Give my shields a reach.
Portal placed.
Oscar Mike, I'm spotted. Listen up, I'm getting shot at.
In progress. Recharging my shields.
Take the portal.
Reloaded.
Heads up.
Deploying health drone. Reloaded. Oscar Mike, I'm spotted.
Take the
Eagle head.
Idiot.
Recharging my shields.
Minus, from here.
Fire.
Double timing. Reloaded. Reloading. And come and get your back.
They're about to come back through.
Give my shields a recharge.
He went back. Oh, they're fucked. To the right. One hit right here on rock.
Getting shot at. Shooter. Reloading. Reloading.
Enemy taken out.
Reloading.
Reload. I'm spotted. Taken fire.
Hey, nice.
Well, there's your gameplay.
Perfect. That was actually a really good game.
You are the Apex champions.
I'm happy with that.
Reloading.